Hello everyone, how are you today? Make sure you're going to pattern-collections.com to find the new pattern. Yeah, I would really appreciate it if you have an extra $1, $2, $5 to go to this PayPal and donate. So keep this pattern website running. It's more expensive than I thought to host a website, and this is not for me. I don't have anything really to do with the website other than I am a fan and I use it to inform my pattern decision making, but it's not my website, and so this money doesn't go to me in any way, shape, or form. It goes to Ina and helps her to run the website. She's been doing it out of her pocket, and it's cost her over $4,000 to do so, and she's just trying to recoup a little bit of her investment. She didn't realize when she first started how popular her site would be and how much it would cost to maintain it. Apparently, websites are pretty cheap when you first start them, and then the more traffic you have, the more you have to pay. And this website has now gotten quite popular. Let's see, does it tell me at the bottom here? It does, I think. Counter. This website has over 5 million views since April of 2016. And so since it's so popular, she has to pay for that. So if you would donate, I would appreciate it. If you don't want to donate, if you want to purchase one of her ebooks, then you get something for your money. That also works. They're under, I think the most expensive one is $8 right now. So they're cheap. Anyway, I go to Pattern Focus. This is where I'm going to find today's pattern. I'm not a very good salesperson, so just wanted to let you know, though, that that's what I want to do. 6 heart is what I've decided to do. And the, let's go back there for just a second. The focus word, the embellishment word, whatever, is shimmering. I don't even want to know what the additional keyword, shimmering, is the word. So 6 heart is what we want to do. Nobody has done a video on it yet. Looks fairly straightforward. It's a ribbon-like tangle. So in pencil, you want to make yourself like a ribbon grid, and then right at the bottom of the grid, go up a little bit and make another line straight across like that to give your little shape a consistent height. And then you're going to draw kind of like the number 6. You're going to not start over here in the corner, but right in the middle, come down and draw a little 6. Come down and draw a little 6. Just like that in a ribbon. And then you're going to do it opposite this way. Or it might be easier to go around and up. I don't know. It's up to you how you want to draw it, but that's, you just draw a mirror image. And the next step is to draw a heart shape here. You can draw half of it first and then come back and draw the other half, or you can just draw a heart. Whatever is easiest for you. And this is what we're aiming for, is that shape right there. And then there's a bunch of variations they've shown on here, and there it's shown in a awesome sort of spiral, and then one going across this way. Beautiful colors. I like this, and it's Step Out is by Wendy Stieglitz. Sorry, Wendy. I'm sure I butchered your name. I'm good at that. So I just own it. I'm good at butchering names. So I'm just going to put that over here so I remember what I'm doing. I'm going to turn on my light. If you guys are I'm going to go ahead and, since it's a ribbon pattern, I'm going to go ahead and do it on like a bookmark. If you guys are familiar with some of my chit-chat videos and my prompts, I was using these prompts from this old 1970s game called the Ungame. All I had was the cards. I didn't have the actual game, the board or anything. And I was using these cards and then as sort of a prompt for me to get my thought processes going and chit chat with you guys a little bit. Well, I found something similar at the used bookstore at the library, but it's not on cards. It's in an actual book, and it's called, well, you're not going to be able to see that. I'm going to have to turn off the light for just a second because that's very shiny. It's called If, Questions for the Game of Life, and it's by Evelyn McFarlane and James Saywell. And it's this cute little book. It's not very big. It cost me $1.25 at the used bookstore. And it has similar types of little prompts, but it's in a book form, and I think it's going to be updated a little bit because some of those questions were a little weird, and it seemed to be like they were getting kind of repetitive. And so I was hoping that maybe this book, being as how this book was written in 1995, might give me some prompts that are a little bit more modern. Not super modern, but more modern than the ones from the 1970s. So I'm going to try chit-chatting using this book instead. Just an FYI. That's what I'm going to do. Moving forward for a little while anyway. So let's first start drawing, and then once I start going with the drawing, I can answer something out of this book. I'm going to just use my ruler and kind of there. That looks like a good, yeah, that looks like a good size. Just going to draw that. And that looks like a good bookmark size. And then we'll just do, how big? About that big? Like that for the little 6 thing. And then I'm just going to start at one end and work my way down, I think. How am I going to do this? Let's do it here. Just going to do every ½ inch or so. Something like that. Hopefully it stays fairly straight. It doesn't have to be perfect. But if I have a tool, I'm just going to use it. Why not? Alright. So right in this spot here, we're going to draw that little 6. Starting in the middle here. Like so. Where's my... my pen? What have I done with it? I've stuck it under my phone. Of course I did. Because, you know. So do you see the... you know what I didn't do? So it's going to be a little bit off in shape, is I didn't make myself a square first and then put the line. Should have done so. It's okay. I'll be just a little skinnier. We'll be fine. Won't we? Oh no, we will not. Okay, so I'm going to use... I'm going to use this as the square. So this is where my 6 is going to be. It's going to come from there. And it's going to go here. So that's going to be my square. So my square's here, and here, and here, and here, and there, and there. Okay. Because I forgot to make it a square. And that's pretty closer, much closer to a square. I wouldn't have room for both of these in a rectangle. It needs to be a square. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense to you. All right, let's do the deed here. Something like that. And then we're just going to come around and do all of them. Ooh, I'm a little funky that direction. Okay, let's try it. Let's try turning it this way. The ones going this way are much less smooth than the ones going the other way. Maybe I'll have to turn, maybe I'll have to go this way first and then turn my page over to do the other shape. Sometimes I find that like pulling toward me works better than pushing away from me. And this is kind of a pushing away movement. So that might be why it's not working very well for me. So I'm going to try a pulling toward me kind of movement. So let's do that. Needs to go more like that. Okay, so it needs to come more here and around and up. That's a better movement for me and the way I draw. That's important to always make it easier for yourself. You don't have to follow the step exactly the way it shows. Just make it easier for yourself. So that's not too bad. Oh, hello, little cat. There's a neighborhood cat just walked past my window. Okay, so now in this space, we want a heart. And since I've already made this vertical line here, it's going to make it easier for me to make that little heart shape right in there. Okay, so let's ask one of these questions. I'm just going to start at the beginning of this book and work my way down. If you were to be granted one wish, what would it be? If I were to be granted one wish, it would be that everyone would treat each other with kindness and respect, no matter what their differences. That's what it would be. Although, you know, I'm very tempted for my one wish to be that this coronavirus would be immediately eradicated. But I know that if that happened, then something else would pop up. But I think if we were to be completely and 100% compassionate with one another and kind to one another, we would all make different life choices. And even though we would be struggling maybe still through some health crises or global economic crisis or whatever, we would still be nice to one another. Because I think that's more important than all the other struggles that we're going to go through. Okay, so I'm going to actually do one of these variations. Which one do I want to do? I kind of like... Let me get a wider pen. Hello, bigger pen. There we go. Kind of like this one. Let's do something like this. Something like that. Make it a little bit more line weight. I think that would be good. And that'll kind of maybe address some of my issues I had with my lines on this other side. Let's see. Let's go for another question. If you could spend one whole night alone with anyone in the world who is currently alive, who would you select? I'm going to make the assumption that the question is saying somebody that you don't already spend time with. One whole... The wording on this is kind of weird because it kind of assumes an intimate thing where you spend one whole night alone with somebody. So I don't want to spend one whole night alone with anyone else but my husband, so that's just kind of a weird question. So can I interpret it differently? I'm going to interpret it differently. If I was to spend like an evening with someone who's currently alive, and I wouldn't have to share my encounter with anyone else, Who would I want to spend that time with? This is going to take a bit of thought to answer it truthfully and with good reasons. Oh, goodness. I was afraid of this, that these questions would be a little more challenging than the ones from the 70s. Although why I would think that they would be more challenging, I don't know, but I don't know. I don't know the answer to that question. Why is it that some people would probably have it like right on the tip of their tongue, who they would want to spend some time with? I don't have like a celebrity crush or anything like that. Yeah, anyone who really comes to mind, like immediately, I think, do I really want to spend like time with them alone? The word alone, I think, is what's bugging me. Because if you said, you know, if you were to go have a dinner party with your friends and one person alive, who would you want it to be? And I could probably answer that. I don't want to spend time alone with strangers. Even if they're strangers that I really look up to and admire and so forth. Yeah, I don't. So I guess that's my answer. I really don't. Don't want to. I don't want to. So what do I want to do here? It's way too plain. I want to do something. I think I'm going to color, which is fine. But I also think I want more black. I'm going to do that. On both sides of the heart. Yeah, like that. I'm still thinking about that question. That's going to give me pause for some time, I think. I think you need to, for that question, for me, I'd need to have it narrowed down. Like what's one musician or one actor or one religious leader, or there's just, yeah, I would need something like that. I would need a little more guidance. I do like the idea of doing like a tweed. Type arch thing here. What was our name? Was shimmering. Shimmering was our prompt. I like that. I think I'm going to no. Shall I just do that again? Maybe I just need to add some color and it'll bring it to life. Something like that. Do like that. That's pretty. Let me do a little color. I'm gonna use these brush pens. Somebody asked me what kind they are. They're STA. I'll give you the name here. STA Aqua Natural Brush. I found that one that was moldy, and that made me not happy. So I'm not sure if I would recommend these. Maybe you could try some other brand. I just got these because they were a heck of a deal at one point, and maybe there was a reason they were a heck of a deal. Now, see, the next question in this book is, if you could spend one whole night alone with anyone in history, who would you choose? I don't like the night alone part. Still part of the question that's bugging me. But if I could meet with and spend a long time with one person in history, I think it would be Lucille Ball. Is that did you expect that to come from me? She popped up in my head when I had the other question, but that I couldn't answer that as an answer because it said somebody had to be alive. But I think Lucille Ball. I think she'd have been a hoot to hang around with. And I'd really smart, funny. Can you imagine a room full of old-timey comedians, and just hanging out with them. Like Lucille Ball, Carol Burnett, Robin Williams. That would just be a blast. Tim Conway. Just hanging out, having a drink, kicking back. That would be a hoot. Oh, here go those dogs again. They really annoy me. I was hoping that they would stay quiet the rest of the day, but you know, I am being very optimistic when I do that. Let's try this color. Don't know if I'm gonna like this color, but I'm gonna try it anyway. So it's interesting, my company decided that they would save on payroll if they reduced the hours, the number of hours that we were open. And what do you know? They have decided that we aren't making enough money with reduced hours. So now we're going back to our old hours, which is why my manager has to change our schedule. But what do you know? When you reduce your hours, you reduce the number of hours in the day you can collect money, and you lose income. Imagine that. So that was an experiment that only lasted about 2 months. Of course, they're giving us back our hours, sort of. They did not return as many hours back to the stores as we had from before we changed our hours. So they actually cut still actually cutting hours. So now we have to stay open the same amount of time that we used to do before, but with less hours. It's very annoying. But we have to do more tasks than we used to. Add more things to our day with fewer people and fewer hours. Isn't that always the way? Oh well. I want one more. I don't like any of these colors particularly for what I want to do. I guess I'll go with this kind of a dark olivey green. I hope this isn't too dark. Oh, it's pretty dark. Oh, that's all right. It'll do. Guess I could have used pencil, but I didn't. Well, I like that. So far, that's all right. I'm okay with that. All right, let's put that away, and let's put the name on here. So I've already forgotten. It was a 6 something, 6 heart. Yeah, this pen has about had it. All right, there we go. That's the plant. That's the pattern. Can you see the whole thing? Kind of. If I turn it this way, there. Now you can see the whole thing. I think it came out all right. You guys have a great day. I will see you later. I'm going to use this bookmark in my new little book to save my place as to where I was with my answering my questions. And I'll be back on the next video. Next video we're going to do 5 wheel. And then we're going to do 3D blocked screen. Don't know how that's going to go. I've tried that one before and I made a right jolly old mess of it. So that's why I chose it, because I know it's going to be a challenge for me. So sometimes you just got to challenge yourself and get yourself out of your comfort zone. I'm going to do that with that one. All right, see you guys on the next video. Bye-bye.